Leaving the embassy for who knows how long, France's ambassador to Australia stopped his car for a few words to reporters.
I think this has been a huge mistake, a very, very bad handling of a partnership, because it was not a contract, it was a partnership. A trust partnership that's supposed to be based on trust, mutual understanding, and also a partnership based, on sincerity. Au revoir. Au revoir. You'll see there is hope. You speak French.
Then it was to Sydney Airport for his flight home. Empty of its ambassador too is the French embassy in Washington, D.C. This is an unprecedented move by France, the United States' oldest ally.
You have to go back to before the first president of the United States, that's George Washington here, to find the origins of this alliance between France and the US. Just 2 years after the US Declaration of Independence, in 1778, France formally recognized the strange new nation and then backed it in its war against the British. In all of the years since then, this is the first time, says the French Foreign Ministry, it's ever recalled its ambassador to the US.
It's proof of how angry France is right now, and this is why.
And so, friends, AUKUS is born, a new enhanced trilateral security partnership between Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States.
On Wednesday, Australia, the UK and the US unveiled AUKUS. It's a defence agreement aimed at countering China in the Indo-Pacific. But it cuts France out of a 2016 deal to build diesel-powered submarines for Australia in favour of nuclear-powered tech from the UK and US. It'll leave France tens of billions of dollars poorer, and it's being seen by Paris as a gross deception by friends and allies. Still, there are those who think Paris is overreacting.
I think, it was not necessary. I mean, we have never recalled previously our ambassador from Washington. And it's really very bad manners from the Americans towards France. I mean, really, America has been treating Macron like an underdog and so on. But it's only bad manners. And I think that vengeance is a meal that should be served cold.
As for the UK, well, France has spared London the sting of pulling home its ambassador. Instead, French ministers have tried something more withering. They suggest it's not worth bothering with junior partners, and that's all the UK is to the US.
France has threatened the current president of Mali of dire consequences if he allows Russian mercenaries to go to Mali. Mali coup leader and now president Assimi Goïta has signed a deal to have 1,000 Russian mercenaries move to Mali, and this has triggered alarm in France. There were celebrations in Bamako as youth chanted, "If Wagner went to liberate Syria, if Wagner went to liberate Central African Republic, then we welcome Wagner to Bamako to liberate Mali." Remember, these Russian mercenaries from the Wagner group are the same ones that fought ISIS terrorists in Syria and drove them out. The same Wagner group brought peace to Central Africa and Libya. And now this is the group that France doesn't want to see in Mali. And it seems that France doesn't want peace and stability to come to Mali. And it seems to me like West Africa is beginning to wake up, and in particular the Francophone countries. Stories have been told and books have been written about how France imposed a colonial tax on these particular countries. But it seems that soldiers in some of these West African countries have decided that enough is enough, after their countries have been stripped off of all mineral wealth by France for more than 100 years. That's when you begin to see this group of soldiers stepping forward to remove puppet president and governments that are controlled by France. And I don't blame these elite soldiers leading coup d'etats in Mali and Guinea. You see, most of them, like Colonel Mamadi in Guinea, have even served in the French army, served in UN missions in other countries where they see developments and try to compare with the poor situation back home. Mali, for example, has had 2 coups d'etats in the last 10 months, and they all turn up in a similar fashion. Just a bunch of soldiers, with the support of their citizens, of course, overthrowing a puppet government imposed on them by France. And you know what else is common between Guinea and Mali? Minerals. Mali is rich in gold, bauxite, uranium, and phosphate. Guinea, on the other hand, has the world's largest bauxite mineral deposit. Guinea also has more unrecovered diamonds than even Botswana. And despite all that wealth, these countries are among the top 10 poorest countries in the world. And now, France has the guts to threaten their new charismatic leaders with possible assassinations like they did with Thomas Sankara.